That team is Manchester City, under the masterful guidance of Pep Guardiola. A team that doesn't just play football, but runs a finely tuned, tactical campaign, perfect down to the last detail. In this video, we're not just talking about tactics, victories, or the big wins. We're diving deep to understand the elements that have made Pep Guardiola's Manchester City so powerful. But don't forget, even the strongest teams have their weaknesses. And Manchester City is no exception. Right from the start, we need to understand, Guardiola isn't just a manager, he's a tactical artist. So let's get straight into how he's built a team capable of completely dominating matches, exploiting every little detail on the pitch. But also, let's see the areas where they can be vulnerable. Guardiola's coaching style and the tiki-taka play. Guardiola isn't just a manager, he's the pioneer of tiki-taka, a style that he brought from Barcelona to Manchester City. Let's kick things off by analyzing this control-based style of play, the one that leaves opponents helpless against the sharpness and intelligence of every pass. With possession often above 65 to 70%, Guardiola asks his team to control not just the ball, but the tempo of the game itself. The players aren't just passing for the sake of passing. They're moving with purpose. Every pass is a plan. Every movement is a strategy. This isn't just about keeping the ball. It's about forcing the opponent to play the way you want them to. Take a look at players like Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Phil Foden. They don't just pass to their teammates. They're always scanning the field, watching the opposition, creating space, forcing their defenders to follow their lead. That's how Manchester City manages to dictate the match and create dangerous attacking opportunities. High pressing. Guardiola's pressing tactics. When we talk about pressing, the tactic Pep Guardiola uses with Manchester City, we can't ignore how precise and intense it is. Guardiola requires his players not just to defend in their own half, but to apply pressure high up the pitch, right from the opposition's half. Once the ball is lost, Manchester City immediately kicks into high gear. They don't let the opponent have a moment to breathe, to organize their play. It's a relentless wave of pressure that forces mistakes, making it incredibly difficult for any team to break through. This coordinated, constant pressure is what makes Manchester City nearly unbeatable when they control the game. The precision of movement and passing. One of the most important elements of Pep Guardiola's tactics is the intelligent movement off the ball. You'll notice, throughout the game, whether the players have the ball or not, every move is purposeful. It's not just random running, it's positioning with intent, creating holes in the opponent's defensive structure. This doesn't just help Manchester City hold onto the ball. It creates space for players like Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan, who control the midfield and dictate the pace of the game to make creative passes. Everything is built on constant movement and seamless coordination. Building from the back, Manchester City's signature style. Unlike many other teams, Manchester City under Guardiola has this unique ability to build attacks from deep, starting right from their goalkeeper, Ederson. One of Guardiola's key strengths is using the goalkeeper as part of the attacking strategy. Ederson isn't just a shot stopper. He's a key part of the build-up play. His long passes are a secret weapon, allowing Manchester City to change the tempo of the game and create quick, dangerous situations. This makes Manchester City incredibly hard to predict, as they can transition from defense to attack in the blink of an eye. Ederson is the conductor, not just the protector of the goal. The perfect combination of players. The synergy between the players at Manchester City is what truly makes the team so formidable. Let's look at the perfect pairing of Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. One is the creator, the other the finisher. But it's not just that. Haaland, with his physicality, draws defenders in and opens up space for others. Meanwhile, De Bruyne, with his world-class passing ability, constantly creates opportunities for Haaland and his teammates. In midfield, Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan are essential to maintaining balance. Rodri is the anchor, breaking up opposition attacks and distributing the ball with precision. Gundogan, on the other hand, is the clever connector, always making intelligent runs to link the play. Manchester City's defense is also rock solid. With central defenders like Ruben Dias and John Stones, the team doesn't just defend, they also get involved in the attack, adding variety to the way City build up their play. Strengths and weaknesses of Manchester City. Even though Manchester City is a powerhouse, they're not without their flaws. Strengths. Attacking power. With a team filled with talent, Manchester City's attack is dynamic and potent. Players like De Bruyne, Foden, and Haaland constantly create dangerous situations. Their offensive play is as much about controlling the game as it is about outsmarting the opposition. Game control. Manchester City dominates possession and tempo. It's incredibly difficult for opposing teams to break City's control of the game, especially when they've set the pace early on. Tactical flexibility. Guardiola can adjust his tactics depending on the opponent. Whether it's ramping up the high press or switching to a more controlled passing game, City remains effective in any situation. Weaknesses. Reliance on Haaland. While the team has plenty of talent, they do rely heavily on Erling Haaland for goals. If Haaland is unable to score or is tightly marked, the team may struggle to find another consistent goal scorer. Lack of depth in certain positions. Although the squad is deep, certain positions like right back and defensive midfield don't have as much depth. If key players in these areas are injured, it can disrupt the team's overall balance. How to counter Manchester City. So how can teams counter Manchester City's immense power? The answer is, attack the flanks, shut down Haaland, and hit them with quick counterattacks. Manchester City tends to push their fullbacks high up the pitch, leaving gaps on the wings. Teams with strong wing play, like Liverpool, can exploit this and create dangerous chances. Additionally, shutting down Haaland is key. The striker is capable of changing the game with a single touch. Teams can try to crowd him out, using two central defenders to neutralize his threat, with midfielders helping out. Lastly, quick counterattacks can catch City off guard. While Manchester City controls possession well, they can be vulnerable on the counter, especially when their attacking players are caught up the pitch. Under Pep Guardiola, Manchester City is a team that's as impressive as it is invincible. With their aggressive attacking play, absolute control of possession, and flexible tactics, they've become one of the world's most dominant teams. However, like all teams, they have their weaknesses. If opponents can exploit City's reliance on Haaland and take advantage of the spaces left on the flanks, they can create opportunities.